Queen Elizabeth presented herself publicly with such poise and professionalism that you would never notice there was something off. Interestingly, there were a few people that she never liked. She never even wanted to shake their hands. She, without question, did not like their company. Although Queen Elizabeth II was known for her grace and demeanor, if you paid careful attention to certain encounters of hers, you could see something wasn't quite right. She wasn't at all comfortable with some celebrities. So, which famous celebrities are we talking about? And why exactly did Queen Elizabeth have a dislike for being anywhere near them? Well, in today's video, we will take a look at some of the most popular celebrities that Queen Elizabeth shunned, or for a better word, hated to be around. From what exactly they did to offend the Queen, to how the Queen responded. Let's kick this one off. 1. Donald Trump. Just like the rest of us, Queen Elizabeth II disliked Donald Trump. She usually gets along well with former US presidents, so this was a change. Donald Trump paid a visit to Queen Elizabeth in 2018 at Buckingham Palace. He arrived at their first meeting 5 minutes late, which did not leave a favorable impression. Moreover, he disrespected the Queen by walking in front of her while doing the media rounds. The aging Queen trailed behind as Donald Trump shamelessly pushed ahead. The Queen was utterly enraged. Both the British press and many Britons were horrified, and many thought the Queen was intentionally being humiliated. Others, though, asserted that it was simply a misunderstanding. Following the encounter, Donald Trump bragged to the American media about how well it had gone and how he had chemistry with the Queen. But did he notice that she wore a brooch that Michelle and Barack Obama, the president's wife, gave her during the visit? This would have been interpreted as a transparent demonstration of her allegiance to a prior president. The fact that Queen Elizabeth II couldn't bear Donald Trump is undeniable. 2. Mick Jagger. Sadly, Queen Elizabeth II ignored Mick Jagger at his knighthood ceremony. Mick Jagger was never personally knighted by the Queen. The Queen reportedly recuperated from a knee injury, preventing her from attending. Evidently, it was quite personal. Some people think that Princess Margaret, the sister of the Queen, and Mick Jagger had an inappropriate relationship. In the 1960s and 1970s, Princess Margaret was known for being a wild party animal. According to author Christopher Anderson, Princess Margaret created a villa to live next to Mick Jagger on the island Mystique during their relationship. Although Anderson acknowledges that there isn't any proof of a sexual relationship, he contends that some flirting wasn't entirely harmless. Queen Elizabeth II frequently deemed Princess Margaret's partying tendencies impolite and unacceptable. She undoubtedly believed that Mick Jagger had a negative impact on her beloved sister. It appears that the Queen's reasons for not being his biggest fan were very justified. 3. Boris Johnson. Boris Johnson, the outspoken British Prime Minister, was unpopular with Queen Elizabeth II. He undercut a royal tradition. During the pandemic, Boris Johnson tried to compel Queen Elizabeth II to maintain their weekly audience. The meeting was postponed when the Queen unexpectedly declined to attend. Many people think Queen Elizabeth was fiercely against Brexit. Boris Johnson, a fervent supporter of Britain's exit from the European Union, probably irritated the Queen. Queen Elizabeth II had high expectations for public individuals and disapproved of those who were excessively loud and combative, such as Boris Johnson. His terrible image and disdain for the Prime Minister's office infuriated Queen Elizabeth II. She didn't like Johnson for various reasons, including his attitude toward Brexit and his involvement in various political scandals. 4. Margaret Thatcher. You would imagine that Queen Elizabeth II and Margaret Thatcher would get along like a house on fire. In a society that was patriarchal, they were both strong women. They had similar interests and had devoted their entire lives to serving the public. On the other hand, Queen Elizabeth II detested Margaret Thatcher and thought her political stances were wholly intolerable. In contrast to the Queen, Thatcher's politics were systematically based on the post-war consensus. The Queen had grown up with and sincerely believed in this consensus. In 1986, things between Margaret Thatcher and Queen Elizabeth II worsened. At the height of apartheid, Thatcher resisted imposing economic penalties on South Africa. In Queen Elizabeth's eyes, Thatcher was deliberately destroying Commonwealth principles. The Queen upheld principles of diversity, equality, and respect, none of which were shared by Thatcher's policies. She described it as uncaring, confrontational, and dividing. This was a rare public criticism of Thatcher and her politics from a typically unpolitical person. 5. Jackie Kennedy. Queen Elizabeth II and Jackie Kennedy did not get along. The conflict started in 1961 after Jackie Kennedy and her husband accepted an invitation to a dinner party at Buckingham Palace. This is where Jackie Kennedy reportedly objected to Buckingham Palace's interior design. According to her, the Queen's style was out of date, and the interior was dilapidated. In his diaries, British photographer and designer Cecil Beaton attested that Jackie Kennedy was not pleased. Jackie Kennedy's scathing remarks would have undoubtedly reached Queen Elizabeth, and the fact that Queen Elizabeth II declined to invite Jackie Kennedy's sister, Lee Radziwill, on the visit may have offended her. Radzivill's socialite lifestyle and divorce annoyed the Queen. In the end, Radziwill was invited by Queen Elizabeth for diplomatic reasons, although the monarch was less than pleased. Jackie Kennedy was eager to meet Princess Marina and Princess Margaret, both of whom Queen Elizabeth held their invitation to make her point clear. 6. Xi Jinping. After Xi Jinping's formal visit to the UK in 2015, Queen Elizabeth II expressed her discontent with the Chinese president to a Metropolitan Police officer. It's uncertain if Queen Elizabeth II had a personal or political aversion to him. However, Kerry Brown, a former diplomat, had sympathy for the monarch. Despite being a skilled communicator, he thought it remarkable that she found it challenging to engage with Xi Jinping. Brown continued by stating that the atmosphere between diplomats in China and the UK is challenging, which can be seen in the intense passion in her remarks. Though we may never fully understand her reasons, we can be confident that the Queen wasn't a fan. 7. Camilla Parker Bowles. Queen Elizabeth II struggled to tolerate Queen Consort Camilla Parker Bowles for a very long time. In the Queen's opinion, Parker Bowles was abdicating King Charles III of his responsibilities as monarch. And as we all know, the fundamental cause of King Charles III's divorce from Princess Diana was Camilla Parker Bowles. Basically, Queen Elizabeth never considered Parker Bowles a suitable match for King Charles III. In fact, Parker Bowles wasn't allowed to meet with Queen Elizabeth until 2000. Even the Queen missed their 2005 wedding. She didn't like her at all. 8. Princess Diana. King Charles III's companions have a poor history with Queen Elizabeth II. Princess Diana did not get along with Queen Elizabeth. The Queen first believed Princess Diana would make an excellent match for King Charles III, unlike Camilla Parker Bowles. This abruptly and drastically changed, though. Queen Elizabeth II first regarded Princess Diana as being overly emotional and unpredictable. Princess Diana disregarded royal customs and frequently challenged the Queen's authority. According to the Queen, Princess Diana was never suited for the royal life. 9. Meghan Markle. Meghan Markle has never earned the respect of Queen Elizabeth II. Despite being divorced, American, famous, and liberal, she considered herself the future people's princess. None of these things could be tolerated by the Queen. The relationship between Meghan Markle and Queen Elizabeth didn't get off to the best of starts, but it only worsened. So on January 8, 2020, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle announced that they would step down as senior members of the royal family. The couple saw pressure and bullying from the British public, the tabloid press, and the Crown. Early in 2021, Oprah held a candid conversation with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. During the conversation, they revealed shocking facts regarding the royal family. And according to the BBC, Queen Elizabeth II was absolutely underwhelmed. Even the name Lilibet that Meghan Markle gave her kid upset her. 10. Sarah Ferguson. Queen Elizabeth II disliked Sarah Ferguson after she was photographed travelling with her lover while still wed to Prince Andrew. The favourite son of Queen Elizabeth II has always been Prince Andrew. The Queen perceived Sarah Ferguson's disrespectful treatment of her son as a personal slight. Sarah Ferguson was promptly removed from the royal family at the Queen's request. 11. Gordon Brown. Gordon Brown was one of the few prime ministers Queen Elizabeth didn't like. Between 2007 to 2010, Gordon Brown served as prime minister for 3 years. Rumor has it that the Queen used to make fun of Gordon Brown in private. Even Gordon Brown admitted that Queen Elizabeth frequently corrected him on historical details and was more knowledgeable about politics than he was. Gordon Brown and Tony Blair were not invited to the 2011 wedding of Prince William and Kate. All other British prime ministers still in office were invited. Clearly, the Queen didn't like him at all. It seems that Queen Elizabeth had quite the opinion on numerous people she had encountered during her reign. Whether it be an outspoken prime minister or a love interest of some of her children, it seems as though the Queen was easily agitated and angered. So, which of the celebrities do you think didn't deserve to be on the list? And was the Queen just nitpicking to garner reactions at that point? I guess we'll never know the full story. See you next time.